In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you our favorite Christmas breakfast that we like to do this time of year. And I'm also going to be taking you guys along as we get this house ready for Christmas. I want to thank KiwiCo for sponsoring today's video, and I'll talk more about that later on. I am not one to decorate for Christmas too early. I absolutely love the Christmas season and all the decorations and all the thing that goes along with Christmas, but I also just kind of like things pretty minimal. And at Christmas time, I feel like with the tree and things, I have more things out. So I don't typically get up the tree until December, and then like the day after Christmas I'm ready to put everything down. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys some of my simple decor. I did something different this year than I usually do, and so I'm excited to show it to you guys. I really love the way it turned out. But before we start getting all the Christmas things out and getting the tree up, I am making a cranberry sourdough French toast casserole. This is our family's absolute favorite. Like, I make this on Christmas morning. Really, I make it on Christmas Eve morning because that's the day that we celebrate Christmas as our like immediate family. And it's our favorite thing. And I end up making it multiple times throughout the winter season. Basically, when cranberries are in season, I buy as many as I possibly can, and we add them to smoothies, we add them to French toast. We love cranberry sauce with pretty much every meal, and so cranberries get thrown in a lot, and this cranberry French toast is definitely a favorite. So last night before I went to bed, I got my sourdough bread dough all ready inside of my bread machine here, which you guys are always asking me about the bread machine. I do have a link below along with this sourdough bread recipe. It's all linked in the description box for you guys. And then I let the dough rise overnight, and this morning when my husband woke up, he always wakes up earlier than everybody else. Usually he wakes up with the baby. Sometimes he wakes up on his own to read or work out or whatever he's doing. I told him, like, right when you wake up, press the bake button on the bread machine to get the bread baked. So he did that right when he woke up, and so when I woke up, it was just finished up. That's what you can see here. It's still like steaming hot. Ideally, I would make this casserole the day before, and it would just be in the fridge, and I would just stick it in the oven to bake. But I had a busy day yesterday and didn't get to that, so I am just putting it together this morning. Making a French toast casserole is actually really easy, and I feel like it's easier than making individual pieces of French toast. You know, we have a lot of eaters in our family, so this is a good way to make a lot at once rather than having to sit there and like flip multiple pieces of toast on the skillet. So I made it just like a regular French toast, the eggs and the milk, cinnamon, a little bit of sugar. And then after I put that over the bread, I just put a bunch of frozen cranberries right on top of the dish. And then I always dot a French toast casserole with butter. And then I'll sprinkle a little bit of sugar on top of that just to get that nice glaze on the top. And it kind of like crusty. It's just so good. So that's what I did. And then I got that in the oven. And then I did a little bit of work on getting this house cleaned up. So if you guys are interested in this French toast casserole, I do have the recipe also linked below. I don't have it with the cranberries, but honestly, it's just the same as a regular French toast, but then you just add cranberries in. All right, so I'm super excited to thank today's video sponsor, KiwiCo. If you've been around my channel, you guys already know my love, or I should say my children's love for KiwiCo. And if you've never heard of KiwiCo, this is the best time of year to learn about it. KiwiCo provides a monthly crate delivered to your door with fun, hands-on projects that are designed by experts and tested by kids. KiwiCo will make the perfect hands-on gift for anybody that you're shopping for this holiday season. With 9 different lines, KiwiCo really does have something for all age levels. I have kids ranging from 10 to 1, and every time the KiwiCo box arrives at the door, my kids get so excited, down to my toddlers. He'll ask me, when can I do my KiwiCo? When can I do my KiwiCo? I want to do my KiwiCo. And so the second that that box arrives, we have excitement from all the way from my oldest down to the youngest. And the best thing about KiwiCo is every single crate comes with everything that you need for all the different projects that they will be working on and doing. And they also come with very easy with picture instructions. And so most of my kiddos can even do all the projects on their own, or my older kids will help some of the younger kids, but they really are designed to keep them busy for a really long time, which is also something that I love. So I love that I don't have to go to the store to get anything. Everything's in the box, and it's something that's going to keep them occupied. Plus, it's educational for hours after we open up the box. This time around, my younger 2 received the Panda crates. The KiwiCo Panda crates for toddlers and babies only gets delivered every other month, just so you can note that in case that's the age level you're looking for. All the rest of the crates come monthly. My 3 middles received the Kiwi Crate, which is designed for young inventors with all the materials and inspiration needed for fun, hands-on projects that explore art, science, and engineering. And my oldest received the Tinker Crate, which ended up being one of the highlights of all the crates. And so a couple of the kids worked on that one together and then went back and worked on their other one. Several of the crates have multiple projects, and the best part is that the prices are super affordable. Most of the KiwiCo subscriptions only cost about $20 a month. So if you are ready to try KiwiCo for your family or for gifting this year, you can use my link down in my description box below, or use my code OurOilyHouse to get 50% off your first order. After breakfast, we started decorating. My husband had a boys' day planned with my 3 oldest boys, so they were going to be out of the house all day. So my daughter and I thought this would be the best time to decorate for Christmas. My boys love decorating the tree, like putting ornaments on the tree, but beyond that they really don't care, whereas my daughter gets super into it. So we did save some ornaments for the boys to put on the tree when they got home, and then they'll definitely want to help with like putting the lights up outside and hanging up like the wreaths outside. But as far as the inside go, they didn't care. And so this was kind of a fun little day for me and my daughter. After breakfast, we put the baby down for a nap and we started on the mantle. Now, I am doing something different on my mantle this year. I was recently at a friend's house for a Christmas wreath making party, which was so fun. I'll show you the wreaths that we made there later on because I actually use those. But she had her mantle decorated so cute, and I'm like, I am so gonna copy this. And so I took a picture of it, and she used fresh garland. And so I went and got a big thing of fresh garland, and I'm sitting here right now. You can see I'm kind of like playing with it. And as I'm doing this, I was a little bit disappointed. Like, this does not look anything like hers. Mine's like so thin and seems like there's just, it's not full like hers was. So I decided to go outside and grab some cedar branches off the trees and shove those kind of like in with the garland, and that helped so much. And then I started thinking, you know what, that's probably what she did. She didn't just use one thing of garland, she used other things from outside. And so I got a bunch of cedar, and fortunately the ones that I picked were prickly and had like thorns in them, so I totally made my fingers like, I don't know, they were like bleeding by the end of this. But either way, I really like the way that it looks, so who cares, right? But anyway, I just kind of like went throughout. I played with this a lot. In fact, probably by the end of this video, it probably already looks a little bit different because I keep continuing to play with it. But just to make that garland a little bit fuller, I added in some cedar from outside. And I really just love this because it's such a cheap and simple way to decorate. And then I also love that at the end of the season, I can just take all this and throw it outside and be done. There's like not a ton of stuff to put away because it's all just live stuff. Now I will say, I don't know how long it's going to last. My friend said that the garland does last throughout the season. I guess she's done it before, but I don't know about like just clipping things off trees. So we'll see. I'm hoping that things don't look dead by like mid-December, but right now it looks nice and pretty. I actually read that you can mist it. So if anyone has any tips on keeping live things like this good for the whole season, let me know. This is a burning bush that we have outside, and in the fall that those red leaves cover the whole thing, and it's so pretty. And now there's just some like twigs with little red berry looking things, and I thought that would look really pretty within this garland, almost like cranberries. And so I got a few sprigs of those and added it in to the cedar and the garland. And then my friend also had some lights strand in hers. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get some lights in here. And I realized that the strand of lights that I had were definitely way too long for the mantle. So I used them and I kind of like bundled them up over on one side to kind of hide them before I took them down to plug them in. But I did end up going to the store and getting a strand that is the right size for this mantle, so I won't have so many extra lights at the end of this. And I had intentions of just like getting home and redoing it, but I never did. So most likely it's gonna stay like this year, and then I will put the shorter ones on next year. You keep seeing the lights going on and off. That's my 3-year-old. He loves to plug in the lights, the Christmas lights, and unplug them, so that's why they keep blinking. And I just put my beeswax candles that were already on my mantle back on there. And I also added in, I have a little wooden reindeer that I've had forever that I ended up putting on the other side. And then I purchased some red beaded garland to hang up on the mantle. Now it looks like this was a really easy thing. I just go in here and clip them up. But I will tell you, before this clip, I tried it several different ways. I tried using one, I tried using, like clipping it in different ways. And so I played with this a lot before I actually filmed this. And then I got my little clips kind of right where I wanted them. And so it looks like that was a really simple thing, but it took me forever to get that exactly how I want it. But I just think it looks so pretty the way that it turned out. So now I'm hanging up all my stockings. I hang up 6. I know we're a family of 8, but I just put up 6 for the kids because I feel like 8 is just a little overkill, and it definitely just, we'll have them going from one end of the mantle to the other. So I just hang up 6. These are not the ones that I actually fill for them for Christmas. These are just little knit ones that I think really pretty that I hang above the mantle upstairs. The ones that we actually fill go on the mantle downstairs, and on like Christmas morning, we do all of our like gift opening down there, and so those ones end up downstairs. All right, so now I'm trying to make way for the Christmas tree. I'm gonna have to move a few things. We didn't have this little like end table or those hanging plants last year. I've always had a rocking chair there, so I'm used to having to move things, but this year I'm having to move a few more. I ended up just moving these plants in on a windowsill downstairs and just taking the little hanging things off, and I'll reset those up, at the end of the season. This is the same Christmas tree I've had for several years. In fact, I got it secondhand, and so it's a pretty nice tree. It's always worked out pretty well for us. It definitely needed some work when I got it up. I was like, man, this thing looks awful, but it just needed some fluffing. And also, when I got it up, I noticed that, it's a pre-lit tree, but as I was putting the different layers on, several of the lights were burnt out. And I know I can go in and you can like fiddle with the bulbs and figure out what bulb is dead and fix it all. But instead of doing that, I just decided to throw some other strands onto the tree. So I put different lights on there. I like adding extra lights anyway. My sister told me that she did that this year, and it really does make the tree look, just like so pretty at nighttime when all of these lights are on here. So we added extra lights, even though it's a pre-lit tree, because there were so many dead ones. Fluffed it up, and then I do the like beads and garland and that kind of stuff because my daughter doesn't like doing that. So actually while I was doing this, she was in the kitchen baking. We had some pie crust left over from Thanksgiving, so she was making some pies. It's just kind of like a whole day. Anytime that we're doing Christmas decorating, we love to bake at the same time. We had Christmas music going. It was such a fun little day, and I felt like it was a productive day because we got everything all done. So this is just some red and white buffalo check Christmas ribbon. I've had this same ribbon for a few years. I didn't really change up much with the Christmas tree. Like I said, I changed the mantle, but the Christmas tree is pretty much the same as it was in past years, mainly because I don't like to have to go buy new things. If I find something throughout the year, I will get it and add to it, but for the main part, it's kind of the same. Adding on some wooded beads. Now, when I was done with this, I thought the tree looked pretty nice, but I will say it's already completely destroyed because of the baby. People are always asking me, how do you put up a tree when you have a baby or a toddler? And honestly, if I wasn't going to put up a tree because of the baby or the toddler, I would not have a tree in my house for like the past decade because we always have a baby or a toddler, and it's always a different baby or toddler, especially with a tree. And this year, oh boy, he is way too interested in it. My husband goes, I think the tree would look really nice if we had everything on the top and the bottom half was just empty. And I was like, yeah, we probably should do that. So it's messy, and we kind of refiddle with it every day, but that's kind of like one of the main reasons I'm just like ready to take this thing down. I'm like already over it, but the kids love it. It's just part of it. And it is really pretty at nighttime. And who needs a perfect tree? This is not a decorating channel. You're not going to get your like Pinterest inspired images or video here. For that, go somewhere else. But you can see this is a tree that's put up with lots of love, lots of helpers, and this is what it looks like. And it looks great at nighttime. Like when it's dark, a tree doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a little bit imperfect. Oh, it was so sweet watching them put all these ornaments on. And like I said, we saved some for later that my big boys got to help add to the tree. They weren't even upset that they missed the Christmas decorating day. They were excited to come home and see all the lights up, and it's just not their thing. Those three are not decorators at all. All right, I'm also switching out my pillows and throw blankets just because I have some like grain sack hunter green pillows that I love to put on. I'll leave these on even after we take the tree down and the mantle decor. I'll leave this up just where you can already see. If you saw in that last little clip there, the baby was already yanking on the tree. He was up for his nap for like 5 minutes and he was already yanking on the tree. Anyway, I like to switch out the pillows for the whole like winter season. All right, so now I'm trying to kind of clean up. We have Christmas stuff all over the house, bins everywhere. Then you try to have to figure out like where to put the other things. It's a big job decorating for Christmas. Even when you don't have that many decorations, it just turns into a whole day's worth of work just getting up the tree and the mantle and just the few little things that I have to do. So I am taking these plants, like I said, I put them downstairs on a windowsill, and now I'm sweeping because the amount of things, like, I don't even know, like pieces of the tree, pieces of the cedar, things that were in the bottom of my Christmas bins, leftover breakfast, you name it. It is a mess, and I like to try to sweep as I go so I don't end up tracking this all over the house. All right, the next thing I like to do is I always do a little something to my china cabinet. Not a lot, but I have a few like red Christmas mugs, and I like to put those in the front of the china cabinet just to give it a little bit of that, holiday color. And then I have these little wreaths that I got from the Target dollar section several years ago. And I have little hooks on the inside of my china cabinet so I can hang these here in the window. There's 2 wreaths attached together because they were kind of thin. And I really thought that that would just kind of like be the thing to work for now because they were like cheap, but I just love the way they look. Just they're simple, and with the little red ribbon that matches the tree, it just adds a little bit of Christmas into the dining room. Now I have some things for the dining room table, and in the past I have changed the table runner and done different things on the table, but I really like my table to be pretty plain because we sit at it and we use it constantly. And so I don't like too much clutter on there. So this year I'm kind of sticking away from doing much of anything on the table and just doing those little touches there in the dining room. All right, so after getting the tree up and doing the mantle and the little things in the dining room, we also did some wrapping. Now, none of these gifts are for my kids, so my daughter was able to help me. She's on the other side of the table. You can't see her, but she was very into helping this year, and she was excited to learn how to wrap. Not that I'm the expert wrapper at all. I'm actually really bad at wrapping, but I showed her the few tricks that I know. And these are gifts actually for her cousins. We do a little name exchange on my husband's side of the family, so we got some of those things wrapped up. I like to try to do Christmas shopping early and get things wrapped because I know there's always a few things that are kind of like last minute. So I try to like get the things that I can going now so that in last minute Christmas doesn't get stressful, because I know this time of year can get stressful, and I hate that. I want to be able to actually enjoy the season and like remembering it as, you know, the important part of it, that it's Jesus's birthday, and like reminding my kids of that and not do the whole crazy like presents and Santa, and like let them actually see and understand the reason for the season and really slow down to reflect that. And so obviously we still do presents and do all the things, but we try to be as minimal with that as we can be and just keep it non-stressful if possible, which, you know, it's not possible always, but the best that we can. So doing things as we go really helps with that. And I put these presents under the tree, and currently they're still there and unopened, which I didn't think was going to happen. I just assumed the baby would mess with them right away, but he actually left them alone. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed these little clips of our decorated house. I think it always looks better at night. That's why I want to get you guys a few clips at nighttime when it's dark. I'll probably be doing some more Christmas things, but I just thought it would be fun to kind of show you our little decorations.